Hi there, I'm Krista from RainCityKnits. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you how to knit a stitch using the cast-on stitches from our previous video. So, in order to knit our first stitch, we're going to take our needle with the stitches we cast on in our passive hand, ensuring that the stitch attached to the active yarn is the closest towards the tip, such as this. Now you're going to take your empty needle in your dominant hand, and you are going to, I'm going to try and flip around for this so it's less confusing. Sorry about the dye on my thumb, I've been busy dyeing some yarn today. So here we have our needle and our yarn, and I'm going to insert the tip of the yarn through this little gap that has formed at the bottom of the stitch. So as you can see, there it is. I'm going to stick it from front to back. The empty needle should be underneath the other stitches. Holding the yarn in our dominant hand firmly tensioned, we are going to wrap the yarn around the bottom needle, which is the one with no stitches, from back to front like this. And so now here's another angle. You can see the yarn is doing something funny. So basically our needle without cast-on stitches is on the bottom, our needle with active stitches, with stitches is on the top. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull that yarn through the middle. And there you go. You can see you now have created a stitch on our active needle. And the next step will be to pull the old stitch off this needle. So to do that, just slowly slide that stitch off, and there you go. Right, here we go again. We're going to insert the tip of our active needle through the next stitch. We're going to do it from front to back, and making sure that that active needle is underneath the other one. We're going to wrap the yarn from back to front on the dominant needle only, and we're going to pull the tip through, and then we're going to slide the stitch off the other one. Again, put the tip through the next stitch, through the bottom, back to front, wrap the yarn around, and then pull that stitch through. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to knit a stitch. I will be right back. So I have now knit to the end of my row, as you can see here. My slip knot stitch from the beginning is on my other needle, and I would like to mention there is a weird length of yarn in between the two. This is something that I'm experienced a lot in knitting, and I think has to do with the provisional cast-on method that I use. So next time we're going to show you a different method of casting on, but for the purposes of today, we're just going to pull that yarn and pull that slip knot off so you can see it's gone. Anyway, when you hit the end of a row, you're going to need to turn your work. So essentially all you're doing is turning the needle 180 so that the leading yarn is now at the front of the needle, and you simply repeat the same process that you followed in the previous row. So yeah, that's it. As mentioned, next week I will show you how to do a long tail cast on, which is fairly new to me too, so that's neat. We'll be learning together. And I also wanted to mention that it gets easier. So when you're learning to knit, you will make mistakes, you will drop stitches, you will have to undo your work many times. This is very typical, but it's also really worthwhile, and I promise it gets easier. So I hope you'll stay tuned and follow along next time. So again, I'm Krista from Rain City Knits. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.